Happy New Year, everybody. It's so wonderful to see all of you. This goes back 40 years to the Inside Edge for many of you. And then there are new people that are here, but we're all of the same heart and mind. It's just amazing. I'm going to bring up a presentation, and I plan to stop it at different points for some discussion. And so we'll just get started here. Here we go. Let me see. Share, keynote, and share sound. Hopefully, let me go enter full screen. Okay, are we good? Can you all see the circle
Yes,
within?
yes.
Okay, Mastery Circle, December 31st. What a auspicious day also for this. Here we go. So, Mary Grace, uh, I came to California for breakfast, and this was November 14. And Mary Grace said, I said, what's the topic going to be? And she said, well, the topic will be you. You tell us about yourself. And so I'm thinking, what am I going to share? I mean, I've got a lot of accomplishments. And so I kind of meditated on it. And then something came up that was just wonderful. And I wanted to be less about me and more about us, meaning the whole mastery circle. And all of a sudden that caught fire within me. And I'm thinking about it, meditating on it. And on November 11 at 3 a.m., I got this download. And I ran into the my other room, opened my journal, and I just wrote this stuff down as it came real quickly, closed the journal, went back to bed. And so I want to talk about downloads for just a minute. Uh, Download is when something comes that's beyond yourself. It's like it's from spirit, it's from the universe, it's from your higher self, however you want to frame it. That is something that comes. It's not your mind just fabricating it. It just comes. And your intuition gets activated and 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 if you follow it, you know it's the right thing. There's a lot of energy with it. So,
Mhm.
and I know so many of you have downloads, you get downloads, uh, and write them down and follow them, and that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Also, synchronicities. I
Mm-hmm.
have a synchronicity of 1111. That number keeps showing up again. And when I looked it up, it's called going through the portal. And when I was at Parsons uh, doing my professional work as manager of engineering, I retired and they said, you have to retire on November 11th. That was 11/11. And it's just been one 11/11 after another 11/11. I got this download on 11/11, November 11th of this year. So I've been noticing synchronicities and downloads more and more. And the more you notice them, the more they happen. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is I've been doing some quite a bit of study in Tibetan Buddhism, and I'm very interested in Tibetan dream yoga, where you become lucid inside the dreams and you have certain functions to do. There's 9 stages. The very first stage is fly. I love to fly. It's one of my favorite things to do. I fly a fair amount in the dreams. It's very exhilarating. And so here is artificial intelligence going up and showing kind of what it feels like to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So the dreams that I have a lot of martial arts dreams, and these dreams started for me many, many years ago as very confrontational. As a martial artist, I would be in fights, and they would be deadly and very harsh. But as I continued to study and work over the years, What happened was the dreams changed. And here's another synchronicity. Jonathan puts up a thing on the great warriors. Unbelievable that this came up today. And I wrote a few things down about non-action, shun about making the first move, stand your ground with no weapons, cut ignorance with your mind. The Tao offers superior protection. Great warriors with no enemy emerge victorious. And uh, the three gems are love, simplicity, and humility. Wow, that's the highest level of martial arts and of great warrior. And here, Jonathan just brought this, just came today on this. So one of the dreams I had here was I walk into this room. There's a little man standing in the corner. He's got glasses on. And I asked the people in the room, they're all martial artists, who's the greatest master? And they point to this little guy with the glasses. So I go over to the corner and I said, they say you're the greatest master. And we engage in a kind of combat. And he turns into a huge white serpent and starts to wrap around my body. Now, that would normally freak me out. But what I did, because I've done a lot of the Tibetan dream yoga, is I flew him out over the ocean, and it kind of freaked the serpent out. And so the serpent keeps telling me, this is all an illusion. This is all a dream. It's all an illusion. It's all a dream. That is a huge gift. That is a huge gift. That is what a lot of the Eastern meditation practices, Buddhists, Hinduism, talk about. We're living in a dreamlike space. We're living in an illusory space. We can see it in dreams, but we don't see it when we're so much during the day. And that's one of the great teachings. Another time, I go into another room in another dream, and it's all filled with men. And I said, who's the greatest master? And this woman appears in front with light coming out of her heart space. And I said to her, what is your special gift? What is your special power? And she says, I suck the aggression out of situations so war and fights don't happen. I went, oh my God, that is the highest martial art there is. To be able to have that kind of power to remove ignorance, remove aggression, suck it out so that wars and fights don't happen. And so I tried to do some imaging of kind of that energy that she had. And what I found was that all of this is interconnected. The downloads, the synchronicities, the dreams, our interconnection, we are all interconnected. And this all happened when I shifted from me becoming we, becoming us. When you start to get out of yourself and your own concerns and stuff and start thinking about others, being of service, raising their consciousness, helping the community, everything changes. Everything changes. All the powers come to you, all the insights come to you, so much more comes to you than when you were all in this little realm of me, me, me. I need this, I don't want that, and so forth. So I want to start with these downloads and what they were. The purpose of the circle within is the healing and evolution of the personal self, the community, and the planet. Here's the first four. We do this by healing our personal and collective shadows. To me, that's the most important first step. That is on top of all of the beauty, love. That is what's keeping it down. And as you heal your personal and collective shadows, then the good that we are at the heart level, at the base level, can rise. We do this by serving others with love and compassion. And we do this by following our guidance and intuition. In other words, following the downloads. And we do this by no longer hiding our light. So I'd like to open it up now just for a few moments uh, to discuss those. Any thoughts you have? I'm going to take these first four and put them in chat so you can see them there. But I like to make the screen bigger so we can kind of see each other. There we go. And I will start putting this in chat here. Here's the first four. I'll see if I can get it into chat. Copy. Okay, and let me go to chat. Okay. Okay, if you open your chat to the side there, you can see the four, so you can refer to them. Can you see those okay? They coming through? Good, good. Okay, so just opening it now. Any thoughts you have on these first four? Any ideas, thoughts, insights, or whatever?
I have something, Tim.
Yes.
It's like as I progress in my own personal healing and my shadow work, I am discovering that the second point is we do this by serving others with love and compassion. What I'm experiencing currently is there are no others. And, I did a lot of work around self-forgiveness, and I found when I was being able to implement that with myself, forgiving anybody else became no problem at all. But I had to first address myself. And I love these. This is really very profound. Thank you.
Thank you, Lovita. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think this is also very natural
Yeah.
that it moves on its own as I come just present to it.
Thank you, Jonathan. It's as though it's moving us rather than like exactly. It's like something's coming through that's moving us naturally and profoundly rather than, oh, someone dreamed this up here on this. Beautiful. Okay, I'll go to oh, yes, Robin, please.
I just wanted to thank you for the reminder of the value of the shadow work and the shadow itself. I had a pretty profound experience that surprised me over the couple days around Christmas with that, including a nightmare that woke me up screaming. But it was a necessary. It felt as if I was just kind of taken. And it was so humbling because I thought I can handle things and but it was beyond. It just took me like I was abducted for 2 days, but it was a whole journey in a shadow area that now I can feel. I feel like it really cleared things and had a lot of value. But yeah, it's interesting that that was your first one because it seems like that does just shake us up and wake us up to whatever those next stagings and levels that want to evolve come from, from this black hole place. Anyway, I just
Beautiful,
wanted
beautiful, Robin. Yeah, Michael Singer, that's his work, is like these things come up and you have to release, relax, and clear them. And when that happens enough, then the Shakti energy comes up to the heart space and you feel that. But all these shadow events are sitting on top, and that's what we're experiencing. Yes, Lisa.
So we do this by following our guidance and intuition. So last week, I had a day where I was just going to listen to my heart space to guide me through the day. And it was amazing how I had to walk down to the bus stop. And right when I got to the bus, it was there. And then when I got to my destination, somebody treated me to lunch, and just the day unfolded, and just it seemed like I was in this grace, and I was in this flow, and it was such an awakening to me. It was such a profound experience that I am using that for one of my things that I'm going to work on for next year, is that listening to my inner wisdom, my intuition, and my personal guide.
Oh, beautiful, Lisa. There's a great guru and sage called Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he said when you hit a certain level, deed follows thought without delay or friction. Just things just manifest, and so you were in that magical space. Let's do Ruth, and then I'll move on to the next set. You're Ruth, go ahead.
First of all, this is brilliant and helpful, and thank you in advance. I'm saying I want to talk about that we do this by serving others with love and compassion. I had an experience about 10 years ago where I was working with a community in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I had gone above and beyond to do things for them and to connect them with the right people so that they could have a successful conference. And at the end of the conference, they never said anything to me. They didn't thank me, and I was so put out by it. And so right after that, I was invited to a place where they had a sacred ground. The indigenous people had built a teepee, and I was invited there for 2 days, and they said I could go into the teepee and meditate. And while I was meditating in the teepee, I heard a voice say, "You didn't do it for them, you did it for me."
Yeah.
And immediately, all of my resentment and my disappointment just totally dissolved, because it shifted why I was doing the work. I thought it was ostensibly for the people in the community, my friends there, and I just let go of everything. And a month later, I got the most incredible letter from the community saying how they couldn't have done it without me, and they appreciate my friend. But it came spontaneously from them. And at that point, it was lovely, but I didn't need it.
Right.
And so what you say here, we're not serving others with love and compassion only, we're serving the one. And
So good. That is absolute. That's another teaching. I mean, we all have teachings that just well up. I'm going to get back to this real quick. Let me go back to keynote share. There we go. Look at the bottom. We serve and share readily with no expectation of return, while staying humble and not letting our egos get involved.
Right.
When our egos get involved, then it has a tendency to kind of, let's say, color it, yeah, in a way. So, very good, Ruth. Here's the next set. We recognize that tremendous power, wisdom, and insight come through our circles. We recognize we are divine beings with latent powers to be released for the good of all. We recognize ego, fear, and retribution are ruining our human and planetary life. We recognize that by raising the consciousness of ourselves and the collective is the answer to peace. I'm going to put the next set up because I want to be able to get through the presentation. We no longer play small and hold back. We realize the bliss of existence.
Oh, so it doesn't show.
We appreciate the tremendous beauty and mystery of our planet and all life. We have a deep and profound gratitude for all we have been given. As I look at the bottom three there, about our appreciating the gratitude, the bliss of existence, my sense is that as we live in there, all the rest will flow out because we're raising our consciousness and energy. And when the energy goes up, it's going to flow out. Okay, I want to get through a few more slides. We'll take a break in a bit and do more discussion. So this was Our Deepest Fear. It's by Marianne Williamson. I know some of you are familiar with this. I had my granddaughter Ivy, who was in fifth grade, narrate this, and then I put some images to it. And it's about hiding your light, and it's about coming out and not playing small, which are two of the things that were in the lists that came. So here we go.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. My name is Ivy, and I am 11 years old and in the 5th grade. I would like to see a beautiful world for my generation and those that follow.
Our deepest fear. When we have more time, we can really get into this and discuss it. I want to highlight two things. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. And then the bottom one was, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fears, our presence automatically liberates others. I want to just look at our origins, go back a little bit. Here it is, 1985. This is the start of the Inside Edge. Diana had just come out of Russia with a bunch of luminaries. Nita did this beautiful brochure, by the way, and Nita has always supported us all along with her great graphics and images, always for the Mastery Circle, for the Inside Edge, and for a lot of us personally. So you notice that it's a circle with kind of a heart, and there's sort of a dip in the heart there. And that was the Inside Edge. And I was talking to Diana about it, and it's like the heart of the heart, the inside. So that was in 1985. MCLA started in the mid 1990s. We sat down and we changed it a little bit so that it was more like a circle where we all shared things. We shared all the different tasks to do. It wasn't very hierarchical. It was a circle. We followed Marianne Williamson's concepts of a circle at the time. And out of that, all of us sitting down, the early people who helped so much, Mary Grace, Bill, Nita, we all sat down and we came up with a purpose statement. An unbelievably great purpose statement that we all participated in. Mastery Circle International comes up because of the pandemic. Restaurants are shutting down. We're going, what are we going to do? Let's move to Zoom. So we moved to Zoom, and now people from all over the world can attend. Mac and Sarah from Italy, Mac from Nigeria, Pamela from Paris. And next, here we are with the circle within. And that circle within is, let's say it's a circle within our mastery circle, and it's an inner circle. It's psychic work. It's energy work to be done at this point, and it has certain practices. So here we are, Los Angeles, Mastery Circle. The idea as we do these practices, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but they follow along with the downloads, it starts to energize the collective. It energizes the whole. That's why you see all these lines going on. And then it's energizing around the world. You can see the star show up. There's a star in Nigeria. There's Mac doing the practice. We see Italy. We see France. We see other places where this is going to expand and grow. And I was doing meditation and work with a spiritual master one time. There were only 4 of us. And I said, there's only 4 people here. Like, what good is that going to do? And he said, 4 times an infinity is a very large number. We are infinity at the very deepest level. And so when you take that and work with it, it sends out immense energy. So in trying to visualize this, the heart space of the martial arts woman and stuff, it was kind of an idea of this more feminine energy coming from the heart space and going out across the world. And then that comes and it lights up other heart spaces in the morphogenic field, in the collective. This kind of power, which is high energy power, all over. It's kind of the idea, and it's still forming and developing. And all of you can participate and help in how you see and feel it. These are just some things that I kind of came up with. It's Indra's web. Indra's web. Indra's web is a concept. Let me go here, and I'm going to ask somebody to read this. Lovita, would you read this slide, the theory of implicate order here out loud for us?
Of course, thank you. The theory of the, oh, maybe I will not. The theory of the implicate order contains an ultra holistic cosmic view. It connects everything with everything else. In principle, any individual I'm so sorry. In principle, an individual element could reveal detailed information about another element in the universe. The central underlying theme of Baum's theory is the unbroken wholeness of the totality of existence as an undivided flowing movement without borders.
Thank you. Linda Nussbaum, would you read this next small sentence coming up here? If you could unmute, Linda, please. Thanks.
Space is not empty. It is full, a plenum, as opposed to a vacuum, and is the ground for the existence of everything, even including ourselves. The universe is not separate from this cosmic sea of energy. David Bohm.
Thank you very much, Linda. I would like to ask my great friend, Diana Wentworth. Diana, if you can unmute. Here is Rumi. I know you love Rumi and Hafiz. Please read the Community of Spirit for us.
There is a community of the spirit. Join it and feel the delight of walking in the noisy street and being the noise. Drink all your passion and be a disgrace. Close both eyes and see with the other eye. Open your hands if you want to be held. Sit down in the circle, quit acting like a wolf, and feel the shepherd's love filling you. At night, your beloved wanders. Don't accept consolations. Close your mouth against food. Taste the lover's mouth in yours. You moan, she left me, he left me. 20 more will come. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Move outside the tangle of fear thinking. Live in silence. Flow down and down in always widening rings of being.
Thank you, Diana. So beautiful. I want to just highlight these. There's a community of spirit. We are a community of spirit. Sit down in this circle. We are a circle. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? The door is open for us. Flow down and down in ever widening rings of being. These are all clues that go way back to Rumi that we're working on here. Okay, I want to cover one other Rumi poem, which is Die to This Love. And the idea is dying the ego, the tight, grasping ego, into this huge love. And so I took his poem and added some images to that to illustrate the poem. Here we go. Oops, sorry. We go back. There we go.
Die, die, die in this love. If you die in this love, your soul will be renewed. Die, die. Don't fear the death of that which is known. If you die to the temporal, you will become timeless. Die, die. Cut off those chains that hold you prisoner to the world of attachment. Die, die, die to the deathless, and you will be eternal. Die, die, and come out of this cloud. When you leave the cloud, you will be the effulgent moon. Die, die, die to the din and the noise of mundane concerns. In the silence of love, you will find the spark of life.
Come on, take a short break here. I'm going to put the other items in the chat here real quickly. And you can talk about those or anything you want to talk about. So let me send the first set, and then I've got one more set. There we go. I think I got them both in. There we go. Okay, in the chat are the next two sets that we discussed. So anything you want to talk about either on those or anything up to this point, just like to open it up.
I'm just digesting what we just left. I'm digesting. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Michelle.
Sure. So when I was looking at that, Tim, I was thinking, what a beautiful thing to reflect on as part of a daily meditation. going into 2025. And then the other thing I would add is there is a fifth star because I'm in Costa Rica. So you do have one more location to include.
Right. Wonderful. Yes, Marilyn.
Hi. Um, Two of the things that really strike me that have really changed my entire life is fear is an insult to God. Anytime you're feeling fear, back up. And nothing can happen to you if you're staying in your heart space. If the universe is telling you to do something, that's how I got on the Harley. There's no way anything can happen to me on the Harley because it wasn't my idea in the first place. And there was some reason it didn't matter what it was. So that and stay in the moment. If you go back even a couple of seconds, it can be an issue. Or if you're worried about something, if you're in fear of something in the future, you're not staying in the moment. So stay in the moment. You're safe 100% of the time.
Such great wisdom, Marilyn. This room is just full of sages. Let's start there, and, who have learned by walking life. And Marilyn has done some amazing work with everything. She'll have to present here someday. Ruth, you're next.
I had a fascinating conversation with David Kennedy, who spoke to us twice on the use of psychotropics. And I called him to talk to him, and he said something to me which I think is probably not just true of me, but I'm going to share it. He said, our fear of dying is greater than our fear of death.
Mhm.
Very good.
And I think that is part of what seems to me from the last beautiful images that you shared with us.
Well, the reason I did those was because I had done a journey with David, and I tried to capture the dying and falling into the immense divinity that where you just dissolve into it. And that was how that little set of images came about. And then I found Rumi's poem called Die Into This Love, and it all fit. So I put it together. So that was, Ruth, an exact demonstration of what I was feeling when I went deep in the journey.
So I shared with you a book I just published with my sister's photographs called 11 Things to Celebrate Before Breakfast. And I'm doing a series that's called 11 on 11, Tim.
Oh, way.
And the second book that I'm working on right now with an artist from South Africa is called 11 Things to Contemplate Before Dying.
Oh my gosh.
And I think one of the greatest contributions our generation can make to the next generation and beyond is to talk openly about dying. And I completed a course to become a death doula. And I know people who are giving the course starting in January. If anybody's interested, I can forward the information. But having the opportunity to talk about it like we talk about living has been one of the most liberating things that I've done. Yes. And I think that you are contributing to that in an enormous way by what you've shared with us this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ruth. And I'm a member of a words group that Nita had started, a while ago. And we have 6 words, and we already decided 2 words for next year are death, and the other one is shadow. We're going to start working with those 2 before we get into all the other words. So, wow, it's just, again, this is all synchronicity. We're all just vibrating. Let's go. Okay, I want to run back to the presentation because I like to get through it. And then if there's more room at the back, yeah, okay, Marilyn, go ahead. Just unmute though. Marilyn, you're muted still.
I'm sorry, I had that in error. I was trying to put something else up.
Okay, Great. All right. I'll run to the back to the presentation so we can get through it here. Share. Keynote. Okay. So, there's another poem here. And I wanted to ask somebody else to read it. Let me see here. Um, Paul. Paul Walker, would you read this next poem that's coming up here, please? Thank you. Let me get here. It's The Portal by a Hopi shaman. Can you see it? Okay? Yeah, good.
This time through which humanity is proceeding can be viewed as either a portal or a hole. The decision to fall in the hole or pass through the portal is yours. Take this opportunity to look at yourself, rethink life and death, take care of yourself and others, and you will cross the portal. There is a social demand in crisis, but there is also a spiritual demand. They both go hand in hand. Without the social dimension, we fall into fanaticism, and without the spiritual dimension, we fall into pessimism and meaninglessness. Are you prepared to go through this crisis? Take your toolbox and use all the tools you have in your disposal. Indigenous people have always been experimented, but we do not stop singing and dancing and having fun. We don't feel guilty about being happy during this difficult time. When the storm passes, each of you will be very important in rebuilding this new world. You need to be well and strong. And for that, there is no other way than to maintain a beautiful, joyful, and luminous vibration. Good things come out. And what comes out of you is the most important. And sing, dance, resist through art, joy, faith, and love. We are now passing through the portal that we cannot deny.
Thank you so much, Paul. So you've seen, most of you have seen this map of consciousness levels, and it's by David Hawkins, and we did even a book group a long time ago on this. The idea is at the bottom is shame, guilt, apathy, fear, etc. Very low numbers. That's destructive energy down there, and a lot of the world is stuck there right now. As you move up into love, joy, peace, enlightenment, the numbers go logarithmic up to 1,000 and beyond. And so here's the thing. One avatar, the frequency of one of them, a Christ or Buddha, can pull 1,000,000 people up. By connecting to these higher energies, you multiply your healing power manyfold. So as you raise your energy, your ability to affect change, both in you, around you, and also in the collective, goes up exponentially. I want to bring the concept of the guru mandala out. This is something I found, and I would like, I was meditating one time. I was trying to meditate on Christ. Christ changed to Buddha. Buddha changed to Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. Kuan Yin changed to Mother Mary. And I thought, what's happening? They're all changing. I was just trying to do one of the masters. And then I came across this idea, the Guru Mandala. And Nita, would you mind reading this part that you can see here? Just unmute though, dear. We can't hear you, Nita. Just yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
A divine consortium of compassionate masters who are referred to as the Guru Mandala. These divine souls, who are no longer in physical form and continue to work from another plane of existence, through the existing master on this plane to support, protect, and guide the initiated ones and seekers on the path of truth. They were always present to help. Some of these masters include Maha Avatar Babaji, Lord Jesus, Yeshua, Lord Krishna, Buddha, Lahira Mahasaya, Sri Yukteswar, Paramahansa Yogananda. I would add Meher Baba.
Yes, and more. And if you could read these other two, please.
The Guru Mandala means the zone of the masters of the same frequency. When you are in a certain state, your expression will be of a certain frequency. And in that frequency, a lot of different masters come together and they expound or they emit the frequency. That is what we call Guru Mandala. And this leads to a transformation in you. You can connect to any form because when you connect to one form, you connect to all. Forms are not that important here. The frequency is the main thing. Stability is the main thing. When you connect to any form of that frequency, then you connect to every form of that frequency.
And I made this little image of all of them. One equals the other, equals the other, equals the other, all the way around, including Lao Tzu in our great readings on the Tao Te Ching. They're all from the same frequency. They just show up at different times in different places to meet people where they are in those places. So once you connect to one, you connect to all. So this is Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche. I've been studying him for many years with a group. He said, we are now in the dark age, where it is predicted that at the end of the dark age, the teachings of the secret mantra will blaze forth like wildfire. Secret mantra here refers to Mahamudra and Zoten teachings. Those are the most powerful teachings, and they're more come from the heart. And he is a compassionate master, an avatar. He's one of this circle that's always here to help. Here's another one, Father Gregory Boyle. He's put out a new book called Cherished Belongings. He's made miracles down at Homeboys. Linda and Bill, Linda taught there, Bill teaches there now. I go down and help when I can. I think he's an avatar. He's a compassionate master. He's written this book because people have again and again said, what do we do in these divided times? This book is all about love, all about expression, all about extension. These are the people he works with: gangbangers, criminals, drug addicts. And the love he brings raises them all. It's the most amazing thing you will ever see. And we're working to get Mac here to go to Homeboys during the summer to learn how to bring all of that to Nigeria. Sleep of Prisoners. I want someone to read this. Robin, would you read this one, please? A Sleep of Prisoners by Christopher Fry.
Sure. Dark and cold we may be, but this is no winter now. The frozen misery of centuries breaks, cracks, begins to move. The thunder is the thunder of the flows, the thaw, the flood, the upstart spring. Thank God our time is now, when wrong comes up to face us everywhere, never to leave us till we take the longest stride of soul we ever took. Affairs are now soul size. The enterprise is exploration into God. Where are you making for? It takes so many thousand years to wake, but will you wake for pity's sake?
Thank God our time is now, when wrong comes up to face us everywhere. Never to leave till we take the longest stride of soul we ever took. Affairs are now soul size, it's exploration into God. Okay, I have about 3 more slides just to
Yeah,
finish this up.
yeah,
Yes,
we're right at time.
I understand. I'll just finish up with these slides. Here we are. Here's our group. This is our heart space. This is our group. This is our interconnection. We are all connected. And as this connection amplifies, as we send our work out into the universe, and I'm going to finish with a Rumi poem here.
A lover asked his beloved, "Do you love yourself more than you love me?" The beloved replied, "I have died to myself and I live for you. I've disappeared from myself and my attributes. I am present only for you. I've forgotten all my learnings, but from knowing you, I have become a scholar. I have lost all my strength, but from your power, I am able. If I love myself, I love you. If I love you, I love myself. If I love myself, I love you. If I love you, I love myself."
So this is the last slide. This morning I woke up feeling doubtful. Who am I to do all this? I had a dream about a very strong opponent. I had to extend energy. Like, who am I? All these doubts came out. And then this came through. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This is just the beginning. It will unfold over time. Let it come through your heart, not your head. Print the sheet out, read it daily, morning and evening. I'm going to supply that for you. Sink into the intention you want to heal and evolve yourself and others. Repeat the words and feeling, I love myself, I love you, I love all of us. Embody all of this. Feel it, breathe it in, dance it, contemplate it, express it. And Nita's going to follow with a new humility, addressing our fears and blocks of our light and love. And Mary Grace then will follow with a discussion on the morphogenic fields of collective and our interconnection and the power that goes to just energize everything in this Indra's web. And the end.
Yay. Beautiful, Tim. Beautiful.
Thank you. Perfect timing.
Oh,
I will stop recording here now so we can get into business and all that.
yes.